Hey guys, Chris here with 4K Motoring, and today we've got our follow-up video to our Pixel 6 versus Pixel 3 comparison. And we're going to go on a little stroll, and I want to show you a little examples of what each one's capable of, what I've noticed with them, and I'll kind of tell you my overall impressions in the 3 or so days I've had the phone so far, and let you guys know, kind of from my opinion, what the consumer phone is really like, and on day-to-day usage, what you can expect. I want to start off by giving my overall impressions of this phone. So far, this has been absolutely awesome and has exceeded my expectations. Like I mentioned in my initial video, there's quite a few YouTubers, especially in the pre-production or the Team Pixel early release reviews that were sent out, that a lot of critiques were given over the battery life of this phone. I was hoping that it would be better than the Pixel 3. Those of you that have the Pixel 3 know that it is, even with the aging batteries, but even without the 3400 milliamp hour battery on that Snapdragon 845 processor, it is not battery friendly. It does use that battery pretty quick, and while it got used to being on the charger on my day-to-day basis, I had chargers in my vehicles, just the wireless charging, you just casually set it down and it gets a little maintenance charging. It worried me a little bit if I would go out of town or do something else that the battery wouldn't last. The battery seemed to be used up pretty quick. I was able to get a full day out of it more often than not with maintenance charging, but it did use it up when it was off the charger pretty fast. So I was hoping the Pixel 6 would be a little bit better. Obviously, at least with the larger battery would be better. But I can tell you, at least in the 3 days or so I've had it so far, wow, the battery life is truly amazing on this Pixel 6. I have been working 12-hour shifts, and with that, taking the phone off the charger before I go to work, doing some stuff at home after I come home from work. The first couple days I've used this phone, I have had 50 to 60% battery life remaining at the end of a day. So that is probably, I haven't looked, the new battery monitor shows your last 24 hours of usage, so it's not really great for exactly detailing what you've done with it, but I would say 16, 17 hour days of the phone off the charger and still have 50% battery life or so left. That is something that the Pixel 3 could not do in any situation, so this has been a huge improvement. So side by side, I wanted to record video. I'm recording on both the Pixel 6 Pro and Pixel 3 XL right now, and I'll let you guys kind of see as I'm just walking, holding one phone in each hand, so no real stabilization tools. I'm not running, but I'm just kind of normally walking, and see what the video looks like as far as stabilization goes, as far as colors. Scan to the side. And obviously with the Pixel 6, I still have the tools where I can change lenses. The Pixel 3 is stuck on the one lens. See that telephoto there on the Pixel 6. And even wide angle there. So you can see the field of view is very good. Likewise, I'm here on the Pixel 6 Pro selfie camera and the Pixel 3 Pro selfie camera. Same situation, going back to back and walking the same trail, same lighting conditions. You guys tell me what you think as far as video angles and stabilization, colors. Is it truly better? I mean, the sensors are better, so it should be better. As you guys know, with the Pixel 2, where the Pixel 3 sensor came from, when that came out, the camera was good, but it wasn't amazing yet. Took about a year to really get that optimization in. And over the last couple of years, the stuff they've done with that camera has been amazing. I assume we can expect the same from the Pixel 6 camera sensors. So I imagine over the next couple of years, we're going to truly have amazing products from this awesome new sensors, but we'll see. One thing the Pixel 3 has is the dual selfie cameras, the wide angle here and the regular selfie camera, whereas the 6 Pro has the wide angle and the regular 6 has the regular selfie camera. I should be shooting in 4K with the Pixel 6 selfie camera versus, I believe, just full HD, so 1080p on the Pixel 3 camera. And just let me know what you guys think. The case I ended up going with on my Pixel 6 Pro is the Spigen Rugged Armor case. I normally am a fan of the bigger cases, not the OtterBox Defender series, but more like the OtterBox Commuter series, the dual layer cases. In just my experience, they seem to be a bit more protective. The harder plastic with the rubber just does a better job. I ended up getting, as you saw, the Incipio case that was from the Verizon store, was one of the few ones I was able to get, and that was the dual layer case that was still somewhat smaller than the big OtterBox Defender series. It was protective enough. I felt like if I dropped it, there'd be no problem that that case would protect the phone. The problem was it was a very smooth case all the way around. Didn't have much grip, so my chances of dropping it were higher. And this big camera bar on the back, I don't know if you guys can see the ridges on there, it smoothed it out entirely. So it had small ridges, so you wouldn't lay the glass directly on something when you set the phone down. But other than that, when you pulled it out of your pocket, your fingerprints were all over that camera. There was no other way to hang on to it, and that really was not good. I was getting fingerprints on this big lens. I mean, that's a big piece of glass back there that I just had smudges over all the time. So I switched to this case. It's got a little lip underneath. It's kind of cut in around it. It seems to be a lot better to hold on to. And although it's a single layer case, it's one of the more skin-like cases, just single rubber case, that I've never really been a fan of. I feel like my chances of dropping it are much less. So I definitely think that's the way to go here. In full honesty, I will say my experience on this phone has not been perfect so far. It has not been all good. There have been some issues. Namely, the Pixel series is great because of the Google Assistant. All the AI functions and machine learning, that is why the Pixel is the phone that it is. On this phone, however, we've lost the Active Edge feature that the Pixel 3 had, where you could just squeeze the phone for Assistant. I loved that. But there are a couple ways to trigger Google Assistant with this phone. One is to press and hold the power button. One is to do a quick tap on the back of the phone. And one is to hit the little microphone on the bottom of the screen. All should engage Google Assistant. Well, that has not been my experience. When I do any of those things, the phone will vibrate as though it acknowledges the command I'm giving. Sometimes there'll be a small animation on the bottom of the screen like it's trying to bring up the assistant, but it does not actually do anything. It's a glitch. I've debated restarting the phone, but I don't really want to go that route yet. I've logged into all my apps and that's just a pain in the ass. So I've sent a message to Google and tried to get in touch with them to see if there's an update or see if it's a problem they're aware of that will be fixed with an update. And I'm hanging out for that. Hopefully that'll be the case and we won't have to worry about deleting all my data, but unfortunately that is a big issue with this phone. One other issue I've noticed is when it comes to like texting, and I assume it's a related issue because it's in an AI microphone assistant combination thing, is that when I use the voice texting, like everybody else has said, it is incredibly accurate, it is fast, it's a big improvement over the 3. However, when I hit that voice text button in the texting screen, it sometimes takes 2 or 3 tries to engage the microphone. Android 12, obviously in the top corner, will give you the notification of a microphone or camera that's in use, and it'll take 2 or 3 hits sometimes of that speech to text button for that to appear and it to take information. And on top of that, sometimes when I'm doing the voice to text, when it is working, I'll send the text that I just, the phone just transcribed. It'll send, but it'll keep the message in the typing box. So although it sends it, it also keeps it there, so you have to either delete that message or double send the message, which seems glitchy, and I'm not quite sure why it does that. I think these issues are more to do with Android 12 at this stage than with the Pixel 6 itself. I noticed I had a couple little glitches with the Pixel 3 as well when it ran Android 12. There are apps that didn't work, and it just wasn't as smooth of an experience as I would like it to be. So I'm hoping with an update that'll be fixed. I know Google's been working a lot, and I hear from that initial update a lot was fixed from those that had the early version. So I imagine this is going to be a very steep curve where things will be getting better, but those are the issues I found so far. So as you guys may be able to see here, I've got a little lake, little pond behind me. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple video samples and some photo samples of each camera in this environment. A slightly overcast sky, but the sun's starting to poke through. So we've got some shadows, we've got some different textures. I'll let you see what the camera does in different modes and what each one's capable of here. I did want to touch briefly on the 5G capability of this phone, and for those that had the Pixel 3 and don't know 5G and have not experienced it, so there are the two types of 5G. There's the sub-6 5G and the ultra-wide or millimeter wave 5G that are out there. The $599 Pixel 6 only comes with the sub-6 antenna and modem. It can't support the millimeter wave, where the Verizon Pixel 6 and all the global Pixel 6 Pro models can. They have that ultra-wide chip. And 5G, in my experience so far, has actually been pretty common here in Raleigh. And with the regular sub-6 5G, it's a little bit windy, so I apologize for that if you're picking that up. For the regular sub-6 5G here in Raleigh, I've been getting about 150 megabytes per second download, as opposed to the 30 to 40 that you get with LTE, the 3G, or the LTE 4G service. So that has definitely been an improvement. I mean, that's pretty substantial there. The millimeter wave, if you guys are curious about that, whether it's worth $100, the very few places I've been so far that have had that, again, it's not been very wide, but those couple places that have had it, I've been getting about 1,300 megabytes per second. So almost 1.5 gigabytes per second from the millimeter wave. So although, yes, 150 from 30 is a big improvement, 1,300 is just absolutely blows them all out of the water. That is awesome. And again, those have still been in conditions where I've been getting battery life that lasts all day. So although the cell network has been showing as about 25% of the battery usage, it has still been an all-day battery. So just speaking of the battery life, I just wanted to mention that, for example, the Pixel 6 Pro that I have and the Pixel 3 XL that I have, I took them both off the charger this morning at 100% at the same time. I did not put either one back on a charger. I did a couple, just challenge tests of just opening the same apps on both. Both phones are on Wi-Fi, not on cell data, so they should have been pretty well the same there. I just did a couple little things, nothing too processor intensive on the phone, and ended up with about 97% battery left after hour and a half, 2 hours on the Pixel 6 Pro, whereas I had about 89% battery left on the Pixel 3 XL. So just to kind of put it apples to apples there for you, that's what I was getting. I'll show you guys a couple examples of how much quicker the Pixel 6 Pro is at opening apps and doing general processes than the Pixel 3. It is markedly faster. I didn't have an issue with the 60 Hz screen on the Pixel 3. Now that I see the 120 Hz screen on the Pixel 6 Pro, it definitely is faster and a little bit smoother overall. Do I think it's, at the end of the day, if you don't have a 120 Hz screen? No. If you've never seen it, you'll never know the difference. Will 90 Hz be fine? Yeah, probably. So I wouldn't say that's a reason to buy the phone, but it does make it feel very nice when you're using it. So I just wanted to give a couple little examples of what the phones are capable of here. Obviously they've basically mirrored each other. They're set up the same way. This is the Pixel 6 Pro. This is the Pixel 3 XL. They're both on Wi-Fi. So let's go ahead and just see how fast they both are on the same internet, same place. So interestingly, the Pixel 3 XL does this part a little bit faster, which I found a little bit surprising, to be honest. So you can see overall we got faster speeds with the Pixel 6 Pro, but the Pixel 3 XL did pretty well keeping up. So now that we know we have very similar internet, we're going to go ahead and, well, let me close that because this gesture navigation is a little bit different. So I want to open a couple apps and just see kind of apples to apples how they are. So let's open Facebook. Faster on the 6. Let me close it. Let's do Instagram. So it was faster to open, but when it updated, the Pixel 3 had the current information faster than the Pixel 6 Pro did, which is interesting. Let's go ahead and open our YouTube Studio. That's a YouTube app, should open up, or a Google app, should open quickly. There we go, there's that. And let's go ahead and watch our recent video if we can.
What's going on, guys? Chris here at 4K Motoring, and today we have the new Google Pixel 6 Pro. So as you guys may know from this channel, I mentioned it before, I've been using the Pixel 3 XL for the last 3 years or so since it came out. I bought it right at launch, and this has been an awesome phone. One of the big selling points for this phone was obviously the pure Android, the camera system, and the fact that it came with the guaranteed 3 years of updates. Well, for those of you that found yourself in the same boat that ordered one of the Pixel 3s or 3 XL.
So there you can see they're very similar. One thing I've noticed watching videos side by side on them both, the Pixel 3 XL is louder. It's got dual front firing speakers. It is a louder phone, without a doubt. The Pixel 6 Pro is not quiet, but it's definitely not as loud. One thing I will say in its favor, though, is that it does sound better. The sound gets kind of blown out with the Pixel 3 at the high volume, whereas the Pixel 6 stays sounding really good all the way through the volume range. Definitely faster with the Pixel 6 Pro, smoother, faster. The only thing I've not really talked about on this Pixel 6 Pro yet is the thumbprint scanner, the fingerprint scanner built in, and it's different. The previous Pixels have all had that rear capacitive fingerprint scanner, and that has been in the perfect place. I've loved that. I don't know why they got rid of it. It's been a great device, or a great tool. But we've gone to this new under display scanner. It's an optical scanner. It's not bad. One thing I did that I noticed made a big difference in reliability, I registered my right thumb that I use most often twice. And that has made it significantly faster to open. I will also say that I very quickly set up smart lock on this phone, so as long as I'm wearing my watch and it's paired to the phone, I don't have to worry about what the phone is doing or what the sensor is doing, because it stays unlocked while it's with me. I think that's fine. That's the way I ran my other phone, and it really made the daily usage much better. You only have to unlock it in the morning after it's been idle for so many hours, and it's been pretty easy to use. So I don't think that's a deal breaker with this phone. Google has apparently already released some of the calibration tools for it and some tips to make it a little bit more sensitive, more accurate. And I think that shows they're focused enough on it that some future updates will really make it kind of world class and give you the experience you expect out of it. Well, like I said, guys, there's been some growing pains with the phones. Going from the 3 to the 6. The 6 is not quite there yet with Android 12. I think it's still a much better phone. To answer the question, should you buy the Pixel 6 to replace the 3 series or wait for the 7? No doubt the 7 is going to be a great phone. I've heard rumors of it already, but given the 3 is now done with its software updates, November was the last true security update we got. There's going to be one kind of final wrap-up update apparently coming in January or February from what I hear. But that is it for the Pixel 3, and it will very quickly fall out of usability and fall out of fashion from there. So do I think it's reasonable to get the Pixel 6 now? Absolutely. I think especially with the deal Verizon's giving you for the trade-in, I think it would be hard not to take them up on that one. I know other people that have gotten the Pixel 6, the base model from Verizon, to replace their Pixel 3 regular model. And again, $700 phone, $699 with $350 off. So you're getting it for half price, only $350. That is going to be an amazing product and an amazing price. For those that have the 3XL, going to the Pixel 6 Pro, I think is again very reasonable. Size is going to be about the same. The telephoto camera is awesome. That has been great to have. I very much enjoy it. And overall, I think you'll find the extra RAM, some of the extra camera features, make the extra battery size, make that Pro really stand out. And I would say absolutely go for it if you have the Pixel 3 series. Now's a great time. Well, that's about all I have for you guys today. Again, I appreciate you guys watching 4K Motoring, and I appreciate you guys watching this video that's not automotive related on the channel. Hope you guys have enjoyed it and found it useful. If you have, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. It really helps these videos out. Let me know what you want to see. Again, I've got a couple more days with this phone. If there's anything in particular you want to know about the Pixel 6 versus the Pixel 3, something you want to see compared, let me know, and I'll do my best to bring that to you. It overall has seemed like a very positive experience with still just a few little issues that hopefully will be worked out. As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.